Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining. Today, we're going to be needing a belt, block, and a yoga blanket or a towel. And of course, if you don't have a yoga belt, a regular pants belt works good. Blocks, you could use a couple books. We're going to start on our backs. So go ahead and come onto your back. So in this practice, there is gonna be some, like, hanging out on your hands and knees or just on your knees, and if you're someone who doesn't, that doesn't feel good, please hang with me, and I'm gonna give variations, so you can absolutely do this practice, if a knee hands and knees situation isn't good for you. Come into constructive rest. Knees are bent, feet are flat on the mat. If it feels comforting to you, you could place your hands somewhere on your body if that feels nice. And then let's just take 3 deep, long breaths together. And checking in with yourself. How are you feeling today? And if there's any discomfort, any heaviness, whatever you're experiencing, I encourage you to let your hands be a representation in some way of comforting yourself. So if it feels okay, you could place your hands on your heart or your belly. Maybe you want to just hold your hands and just feel the support that your hands are offering you. Supporting yourself physically as you would a good friend, maybe who's experiencing a challenging time. And I'm going to begin our class this morning by reading a quote from Martin Luther King. He says, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only light can do that." Let's take a big exhale out. Exhale every last bit of your breath out. And then take a nice long inhale to prepare for 3 ohms. Oh. Big slow breath in. Oh. Oh. And then bring your hands into very loose fists and just start to roll them, rolling your wrists. And slow down the roll. Just really inquire how are the wrists feeling this morning? That like to roll in this direction. And then rolling the wrists in an opposite direction. And notice how you're holding your fists will change the sensation. So you could try with really tight fists and see how that works. And then maybe loosen them and maybe let the hands go limp. What's that like? Go the other direction again. And this time get the fingers involved. And then I like you to shake your hands, shaking, shaking. Exhale completely. Interlace your fingers. And then inhale, extend your palms towards the ceiling, straight up, just above your heart. Straighten your elbows best you can. Straighten, straighten. Keep breathing here as you feel the stretch. If it feels okay for your body, maybe get the thumbs a little higher towards the ceiling than the pinkies. Straight elbows. And now keep your back on the floor, but just lift your shoulders away from the mat a little bit. Right? So the back of the head is on the floor, the spine is on the floor. You're just elevating your shoulders and then slowly lower your shoulders. Let them kind of melt back towards the floor. And then elevate the shoulders. So technically, your shoulder blades will be parting away from each other as your arms get higher. And then shoulder blades will melt and flatten to the mat as your arms get lower. And then just doing that a few times. And your arms are perpendicular to the floor. As you're doing this, the elbows are straight and you're just lifting and lowering them like you're trying to reach something while keeping your body on the mat. It's totally cool if that you know, doesn't feel like your arms are lifting that much. It's totally fine. We're just exploring the range of motion here. And then melt the shoulders back towards the mat. Keep the arms as they are, or the hands rather. But then I'd like you to start to reach back behind your head any amount, right? So some of you, maybe the arms will just come up diagonal to the floor. That's totally cool. Or maybe you reach and the hands come to the floor behind the head. Maybe that feels good. Wherever you go, pause and breathe when it feels like a really nice stretch. Couple rounds. And then reaching the arms back vertical. Uninterlace the fingers. And once again, with loose hands, rotate like figure eight with the wrists. And go the other direction. Shake out the hands. Inhale. And then exhale. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. We're going to start to offer ourselves happiness. So, like, wish yourself, may I be happy. May I be free from suffering. And maybe I be free from the roots of suffering. Just as you would a good friend, offering yourself that. Take a big breath in. And then on an exhale, draw your right knee into your chest, grab a hold of the back of the leg or the shin, whatever's going to help you keep that right knee in, and then extend the left leg long upon asana. Take one more big breath in here. Strong tummy. Exhale, draw left knee into chest, grab it, extend right leg upon asana, other side. Take a rounded breath here. And have your abdominal wall engaged. You're drawing the abdominal wall back towards the spine, sides of the waist in. And then moving with the breath. On an exhale, opposite leg comes in, extend left leg. Did I say that? That was on the exhale. Okay. Inhale here. And then exhale, move. Upon asana, second side. Extending right leg, left knee into chest. Inhale here. Extending left leg, right knee into chest. Good. Couple more times like that. Exhaling is when you move. Inhaling is the pause. Last side. And then both knees into chest. Rock a little side to side, massaging your low back. Okay, so the next couple poses we're going to be doing on our hands and knees. If hands and knees kind of business isn't good for you, um, I encourage you to start doing this alternate Apanasana that we just did. Exhaling is when you move. You could also do bicycles if you want to do like a core, like I want you just to move, get your breath started. Okay, and I'll let you know when that begins. Those of you who are okay with being on your hands and knees, you're welcome to bring a blanket underneath your knees. If you need, hands come to tabletop, wrists under shoulders, and we'll do a little balancing cat. So inhale, extend the right leg. Exhale, draw right knee into chest. Good. Inhale, right leg extends. Exhale, right knee into chest. Keep your tummy in. Please don't sway in your low back. Those of you who are on your back, that's when you can start doing that Apanasana, alternating, or maybe you want to do kind of like little bicycle sit-ups, whatever's going to get your heart pumping, your breath moving. Those of you who are doing just the single-legged balancing cat, the knee in and out, still just working the right leg. You're welcome to add the left arm if you like. The inhale, extend the left arm as you extend the right leg. Exhale, bending elbow and knee together. Woo! Inhale, extending. Okay, this is just an option. Again, what's going to get your blood pumping? What's going to help you move and breathe? Strong tummies. Everyone will do about 3 more. And then folks who are on hands and knees, extend your right leg once more, land the back foot, and swing your heel to the mat. We're going to open up into a side plank prep. Reach your right arm up towards, bicep over ear. So just getting a nice stretch. Okay. Those of you who are on your back, you're going to come into banana. So walking legs to the left, arms to the left. We're all stretching the right side of our body. Wherever you are, breathe into that right side. And then we're going to start to circle the right arm. So whatever you're doing, big circles with the right arm. Folks in bananas, you can do that. Banana folks. And go the other direction. And then coming back to all fours, hands and knee folks. Come into child's pose if you're in hands and knees. If you're on your back, draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Big, slow breath. So I'd like you to think of a good friend right now. So maybe you have one or maybe many. Pick one, get specific. Think of someone special to your heart who maybe is having a hard time, someone that you see relatively often. And we're going to wish them happiness. So wish them happiness. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. And then hands and knees, folks, come back up to table. We're going to do the second side. Those of you on your back, you'll just do some more bicycles or Panasana alternation. So extend the left leg now, working that left leg. Exhale, left knee in and extend. Do your best as you're doing this. We're isolating this movement in the leg, so don't take the spine with you. That way we get some core work in here. Maybe you would like to extend your right arm too. Inhaling, exhaling, right elbow, left knee. come together. And so imagine as you're moving, each full exhalation, you're sending out this kindness to your friend on the breath. May you be free from suffering, right? And not you don't have to problem solve. Right? We're not here to problem solve. It's just a nice wish. We're offering kindness to friends. If um, all, you know, things could be so to set you up to be free from suffering, may they be so. Do about one more. And then hands and knees, folks. Land your hand back foot to the floor. People who are on your back, come into banana, stretching the opposite side of your body, okay? Back heel to the floor. We'll come up into the side plank prep. Oh, and let's just take a few moments to get a nice stretch, right? So everyone's stretching the left side of their body, either in banana or this side plank prep. And if the wrists are feeling kind of crunched, you're always welcome to come onto the fists, of course. You can always walk the hand a little closer to the front of the mat. One more big breath in left side. And then big circles with the left arm, right? So banana folks, you do the big circles too, even in your side stretch. Go other direction. May you be free from suffering. Seeing your friend's face, oh, how much you love this person. Give them a smile. And then landing the hand back down, we'll either hug our knees into the chest or child's pose. Few breaths here. Those of you in child's pose, you're welcome to take the knees wide or together, whatever you like. But I do encourage you to walk your hands forward, elbows off the mat. Lengthen your spine with this child's pose. And we'll be in this position for about 3 more breaths. You're also welcome if some of you would like to do a puppy pose, you could do that. So that would be where the hips are over the knees. We're just trying to stretch the arms. You're also welcome to come to downward dog, couple more breaths. And then those of you who need to be off your hands and knees, you can sit in a cross-legged position. We're all going to just move our spines. So doing some cat cow rounding and arching the back, right? And you can always do that here in a cross-legged position if that's a better fit for you. And then I encourage you to circle your ribs. So sending the ribs to the right and behind you, to the left, towards the floor, and then go the other direction. Nice and slow. Drop your head if you're on your hands and knees. And then come back. Let's come onto our bellies on the floor. If you tend to have a real tight low back, please support your belly with a towel just to create more length in the low back. Sphinx pose. Propping yourself up on your elbows. Lengthen your tail towards your heels, tops of the feet to the floor, and pressing the elbows straight down. Lift your heart up, and almost like you're going to try to let your heart blossom between the shoulder blade, between like it's going to come out from the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. If the back's still feeling pretty crunched, please be sure that your low belly's pulling in and the tail is reaching towards the heels. You can gaze to the top edge of the mat, chin slightly down, lifting up out of the shoulders. And then lower onto the mat, bring one cheek to the mat, arms alongside the body. Shimmy the hips, just like you're wagging a tail. Big belly breath in. And on the exhale, draw your tummy in strongly. Keep it drawing in as you continue to breathe. Place your hands on either side of your chest, fingertips spread. We're going to do a variation of locust pose. It's kind of like cobra and locust together. So, forehead to the mat. On an inhale, you're going to lift your legs and your heart and gaze to the top edge of your mat. Draw your shoulder blades together. Stay here for an exhale. On the next inhale, stay up, but spread your feet. So take your feet away from each other and look forward. So you're still lifted, shoulders lifting away from the mat, legs off the mat. And then on the exhale, bring your feet together, stay up, and look down. Right, so you're still up. Hopefully you're like, oh my goodness, my bottom, it's working. That's if that's the happen, what's going on, then that's what we're trying to do. Good. Let's do that 3 more times. Stay up, inhale, spread the legs come apart, look forward. Exhale, legs together, look down, stay up. Last one. Inhale, feet apart, look forward, broad chest. Exhale, feet together, look down. Stay here. Inhale, maybe lift a little higher. And then exhale, opposite cheek to the mat. Take a rest. Arms alongside the body. Shimmy the hips. Big belly breath in. Let the belly just like expand into the mat. With exhale, let everything go. Let it go. Good. We're going to do that one more time. Strengthening the glutes. So good for the back. Feet together. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the head. And this time, let's just go right into it. Look forward, feet come apart, and stay up. Exhale, stay up, feet together, look down. When the inhale arrives, stay up, feet apart, look forward, broad chest. And then exhale, feet together, look down. You're staying up one more time. Inhale, feet apart, look forward. And then exhale, feet together, look down and release. Opposite cheek to the mat, arms alongside the body, shimmy the hips. Soft belly, big belly breath in. Exhale completely. Okay, so we're going to now open our chest to do a little chest stretch. Um, Extend your left arm out to the left in line with your shoulder. And you can have your right cheek on the mat just for a second so you can just see, so that the thumb, kind of the nail of that hand, the thumbnail of that hand is in line with your eyes. And then go ahead and turn your head opposite direction. So now your left cheek is to the mat. Slightly bend your left elbow and lift it slightly off the floor and press it down into the mat so that the shoulder blade moves towards the spine. And then from that position, place your right hand underneath your right shoulder and slowly roll on to that left side. So this is a slightly different, often people, when they do this pose, they're doing it with like a straight arm. I'm asking you to keep the elbow slightly bent, fingers spread wide, and you're pressing into the floor, really engaging the shoulder blade onto the back. So not only are you using the floor to help open the left pec, but you're also using the strength of your upper back, moving the scapula onto the mat. Let your head rest on the floor. Big breath in. And then exhale. Roll back onto your belly. Second side. Right arm comes out to the right. Bend the right elbow. Press the right hand into the mat as you draw your scapula onto your back. Right cheek onto the mat. And rolling on to the right side, any amount. I like to bend my knees as I do this. That just kind of helps me really focus in on the shoulders, on that right pec. If there's another variation you like to do with your legs, please feel free. So press the right hand into the mat. Press, press, press. One more big breath in. Almost imagine you can breathe right into that right chest muscle, right pectoral. And then coming back through center. Hands underneath shoulders. Options, either come back into a child's pose or come into puppy pose or downward dog. So I'll just demo them, right? So you could either do child's pose here. Puppy would be with the knees over the hips if you want to continue to open your arms, your chest, elbows are off the mat. And then, of course, a good old fashioned downward dog. That's your style. Wherever you are, breathe 3 slow, long breaths. Sending out kindness to your friend with the exhale. And then come on up. Locate your towel or yoga blanket. We're going to fold it up just to elevate our hips slightly and come to Sukhasana, cross-legged position. Start with our right shin in front. I'd like you to sit on the edge of your blanket. So it's almost like you're going to fall off the front edge of your blanket. The pelvis slightly tilts forward. And then we'll do a little cat cow here, rounding the back. On the exhale, part your shoulder blades. You can drop your head. Inhale, arching the back, lifting the chin. Couple more times like that. Okay, and then let's bring the left hand to the floor. Let's big stretch with the right arm up and anchor down the right hip as you breathe into the right ribs. And other side. Right hand to the mat, left arm reaches up. Broad chest. You can gaze forward, down, or up. And then come back through center. I'd like you to cross your opposite shin in front. And then just take a moment, think of, gosh, I guess we don't really go out. Maybe the last time you went to the grocery store, the person who checked you out, like someone you're super neutral with, like you don't know them, you don't know their story, you don't feel strongly good or bad about them. Think of someone in specific, maybe someone you passed on the sidewalk when you took a walk or something. Last person. Okay, if you can't see their face clearly. And I want you to send them happiness, like, may you be happy. May you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. And then I'd like you to keep a tall spine, sit very tall, broad chest, shoulders move back. And we're going to take a twist. to the left hand back behind you. Use your right arm as a lever if you can. Oop. I like to bring the back of my right hand to that opposite knee and then looking to the left, head over heart, over pelvis. Stay in this position as you breathe, like 360 degrees. And then stay here and draw your chin slightly towards your throat and maybe turning the head a little bit more to the left. Soften your face, soften your jaw. Exhale completely. Inhale slowly, untwist. And we'll do the second side. Slowly twisting to the right now. And I encourage you to go nice and slow. Slowly inquiring, because then there'll be a perfect time when your muscles are like, okay, I'm ready to go to this side. You don't want to crank right into it. Head over heart, heart over pelvis, over earth. And then turning the head as far to the right as feels helpful, chest broad. So not only are we keeping an open chest, but we're lifting it towards the sky. Breathing into the twist. Breathing into, there might be a feeling of like being a little bit more confined, but we're breathing into the confinement, sending breath in there. Stay here, chin towards throat, and maybe turning the head to the right any amount. With an inhale, slowly untwist, coming back through center, and just take a moment. Lower your gaze or close your eyes and just feel your experience. So we've offered ourself kindness, we've offered our friend kindness, we've offered someone we don't really know kindness. Now for the fun part, I like you to think of someone that is hard for you, someone who's challenging. They're not like the first person that you're like, oh, I want to offer you happiness. It's up to you who you want to pick, how far you want to go with it. Maybe just someone who's frustrates you. Be specific and kick out your left leg long to the left. If you're finding that you kick out your left leg and you're like, whoa, all of a sudden you start to round, you probably need to lift your hips up a little bit more. You could grab a block, you could sit up on that, no problem. You could still do this with a block. In fact, whoo, that feels pretty good actually. Do it on a block if you like. Good. And then place your hands on your thighs and start to reach your left heel away from your body, squeezing the muscle of the left leg to the bone. If you do lift yourself up higher and you find that that is causing your left knee to buckle, please keep it slightly bent. So this is a very active engagement, pressing the heel down into the floor, strong left leg. And then drop your chin to your chest, sitting up tall, chest broad. Inhale, rolling left ear to left shoulder. And then exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Don't forget about that left leg. Keep squeezing the muscle to the bone. So we're going to send challenging person happiness. Rolling chin down towards the chest, head lifted up. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. And if you're like, I don't want to do that, you could just be like, may I have the capacity to eventually do that. That's okay. And then I'm going to have you bring your hands into kind of like, what is it, like longhorn hands? We're going to do a variation of like a Tibetan pose that's called snare of Hankara. So you got your longhorn hands, right? And these are like Slayer, and it's kind of like slaying the ideas that keep us separate from people. And when there's separation, then we're like fighting. So, with that energy, we're going to move into this. We're going to keep both sides of the waist long, get as tall as you can, and then left foot is there's shape to it. You're flexed. You're going to cross your forearms. Take a exhale. Take a big breath in. And then on the next exhale, I want you to extend your left arm up, right arm's moving down towards the floor. You've got these Slayer mudras. And so your arms are on a diagonal. Stay long in your waist, stay rooted in what you're seated on, and left leg is strong and flexed. Okay, exhale, come back, cross your forearms, take a big breath in. We're going to shoot the arms out on the exhale, back into that position. Good. Stay here, long sides of the waist, gazing over the space between your index finger and pinky, broad chest. Dig the heel into the floor. And then exhale, release. Left hand can come to the floor inside the left leg. And then right arm reaches up. Let's stretch out the right side of the body. Anchoring both hips to whatever you're seated on. Big breath in, turn up the corners of the mouth. Exhale. And then now I want you to stay in this position, but turn your head to look at your left knee. Swing your right arm out to the right. And then grab a hold of your pants, the waistline of your pants behind you. And it's going to draw your shoulder blade down. And then just keep gazing at that left knee. Maybe you'll feel a nice stretch in the right side of the neck. Right shoulder moves back, back, back. Soften the breath, soften the face. Inhale. And exhale. Come out of it. Help that left knee bend. Grab a hold of it. Sit back into Sukhasana. We're going to kick the right leg out. Second side. Flexing the right foot. Sides of the waist are long. Both sides lifted heart. Right? Slight bend of that right knee. We're staying active as we press it down towards the floor. Drop your chin to your chest, sitting up tall. Chest broad. Inhale, rolling left ear to left shoulder. Stay here as you exhale. Stay here as you inhale. Maybe sending a smile to this challenging person. And then exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Staying here, breathing. Corners of the mouth lifting up. Broad chest. Shoulder blades together behind you, sliding down the back. Rolling chin down towards the chest, head lifted up. Take your Slayer mudra. Cross your forearms. Exhale. Inhale. Sit tall. And then right arm up, left arm down. On the exhale, right side body really long. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and cross your forearms again. Dig your right heel into the floor. Stay here for an inhale. Once again, snare of Hankara. Broad chest, open heart. Just kind of feeling into the ways that we are all similar. We all have people that love us. We love people. We have special friends. We all want to be happy. And keep digging that right heel down into the floor. And then coming back up. side stretch. Right hand to the mat and the inside of the leg. Left arm reaches up, anchoring the hips to whatever you're seated on. With an open heart, breathe into the left side body. Soften the face. And being gentle with ourselves, right? So it's not always easy to see what we have in common. That's okay. You can desire the wish to see what we have in common more often than what we don't have in common. And then you're going to stay here, turn to look at, head turns to look at your right knee, sweep that left arm, rainbow it out, and then grab a hold of your waistband so that the left neck gets long. The left shoulder moves away from the left ear. We're stretching the left side of the neck. Soft face, soft jaw. And then come on up. Cobbler's pose, soles of the feet together. Sitting nice and tall. Feel your breath. Feel the support of the earth under you. Okay. The next two poses are going to be on our knees. I'm going to give two variations. Folks who don't want to be on your knees today, go ahead and come on your back. Have a strap and a block nearby. Folks who are cool with being on your knees, we're going to come into a lunge. So I encourage lunge people to be on a blanket of some sort, coming up onto your knees. Step forward with the left foot, square the hips. Okay. People who are not going to be doing the knees on the mat business, you are simply going to bring your hips to rest on a block or a couple books. Extend your right leg and draw your left knee in to the chest. But draw your tummy in, and if it feels okay, I encourage you to stay active in the right leg. Squeeze in the muscle to the bone. Lunge, folks. Hands on hips. Just kind of checking, are my hips squaring? You also are welcome to reach the arms up overhead, kicking the back foot into the floor. Keep breathing, lifting your heart. Those of you who are on a block, if you'd like to extend your right arm while holding on to the knee with the left hand, you could do that. That would get you the length in the arm too. And now we're going to send out happiness and freedom from suffering to all beings. May all creatures, big and small, everywhere, be free from suffering. A big broad chest and an easy breath out, sending it out. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. And then coming out of it, folks who are on the block, place both feet on the floor and just be in supported bridge for now. Those of you who are on your hands, who are on your knees, we're going to come into half Hanumanasana. So you're balancing on your left heel. Your hips and shoulders are square towards the mat. And you might need to get you might need longer arms. You could always, I like to kind of, sometimes when my legs are feeling pretty tight, I'll rest my fingertips on blocks. Broad chest as you're folding over that leg, feeling the stretch in the hamstring. Folks who are on a block, you are going to come off the block, grab your belt, and lasso your left foot, and then just extend it towards the sky. You get that back of the leg stretch. Folks who are in Hanumanasana, bring your right hand to the mat or a block. Bring your left hand to your hip. And then turn your heart to the left, lifting left shoulder, dropping right. So now we're sending the stretch into the outer left hip. People who are on the floor, you can just float your leg to the right a little bit to get the outer hip. And maybe you want to extend that left arm towards the sky. Broad chest, leaning the head and heart back. One more big breath in as you smile. Easy breath out. And then we'll come into our second side. Okay, so now you're going to stretch the front of the left hip wherever you are. Lunge, folks. Right foot comes forward, hands to hips. Get yourself all centered. Check out where your legs are, being conscious of how you're positioning your feet and legs and hips. Block people. You will now draw your right knee into the chest as you extend your left leg. And then maybe we extend our arms overhead if you like. Draw your tummy in, lift your heart. Sending out kindness to everyone, everywhere, simply because, simply because they are. No strings attached. Pressing the feet and legs into the floor, lengthening your tailbone towards your heels. That goes for everybody. If you're on the floor, you could extend your left arm back behind you if you like. One more breath. And then half Hanumanasana, or stretching out the right leg in some way. We're keeping the right foot flexed if you're in Hanumanasana, hinging from the hip crease. Of course, those of you on your back, you're going to lasso the right foot. You'll come up off your block now. Hips to the mat if you're on your back. And then we'll move into exploring the outer right hip. So keep that right foot flexed, very important. Left hand to the mat or a block, right hand to the hip as you twist your heart to the right. Those of you with the strap, you're going to float your foot to the left. And maybe we extend our arm towards the sky, leaning the head and heart back. Breathe deep. We have limited control on our circumstances and our situations, but we can control how we respond. We can act rather than react. One more big breath in and out. And then coming either into child's pose or drawing the knees into the chest. Okay. So come to a seat for a moment, everyone. And take our towel, and we're going to create a long noodle with our towel. Actually, let's make it like a fettuccine noodle. We're going to, or a long stick of gum, best we can. So we want it long enough so that our spine and our head will be supported by it. That is the direction we are going. We want to get a chest opener. And then If you like to come into Shavasana with like blocks under your knees or pillows under your knees, have those readily accessible because we're going to be going that direction pretty soon here. Okay. Blanket comes long sides parallel to the long edges of the mat. And then you're going to have your bottom in front of the towels. And then come on down. Draw the knees into the chest. Sweep the arms so that they're in a T. And then knees go left, come into a twist. Head turns right. Couple breaths in the twist on this side. And then inhaling, coming back through center. Second side. Head turns left, knees go right. And then inhaling, coming back through center. Shavasana. And bring your blocks behind your knees or pillows behind your knees if you like. Backs of the hands rest on the floor. Walking your shoulder blades together and down the back. Hopefully the help of the towel will help draw the shoulders away from the chest. Soften your entire body as you take a big belly breath in. Hold it. Open the mouth and let it out. Relaxation pose. If you can stay in relaxation pose longer, please do. We are at time. If you need to move on with the rest of your day, then come along with me, starting by moving fingers and toes and moving into a big morning stretch. And as you're ready, slowly roll to one side, nice and easy, using your arms to bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And we'll bring our palms together in front of our heart. And I encourage you to dedicate this practice to all beings. So imagine that any benefit that you cultivated in this class, you could send it out on the breath to everyone everywhere. Take a big breath in, send it out. Just see your light shining towards everyone everywhere. Thank you so much for your practice today. Namaste.